Hello and welcome back to your Esports Rundown for May 16th, 2025. Had a very busy week and a very busy upcoming week, so let's just get right into it by talking about Evo Japan, where we had a ton of amazing tournaments. Unfortunate facilities, but amazing tournaments nonetheless, where we see Mena RD, Ryukichi take the top 2 spots and qualify for EWC. Kobayan, Momochi, Akira, Lashar, Higuchi, and NL fill out the top 8. Showing off even more, we have Iwabashi Zangief Xian in 9th and 12th, Zangief Bulato, Tokido, Ending Walker 13th to 16th, and we have the likes of Hikaru, Kaba, Moke, Tantanman, and Kosa, and Big Bird in 17th to 24th. In that final bracket, we had Mena RD, the only person who could beat Ryukichi, and Kobayan having a crazy lower bracket run, beating Higuchi, Akira, and Momochi. And then on the other side, Lashar beat NL, who then lost to Momochi. It's an insane tournament, is insanely stacked. There's like 6,000 entrants. So many really good players. Just Google any of these guys and go find some of their matches, and it's an amazing, amazing time. Not much more I can say. And in Tekken, we had 4 EWC spots going to Ni, Molgod, Manja, and Pinya. And then rounding out the top 8, we had Ulsan, Mei Il, Rangchu, and Shadow 20Z. So very Korean dominated. We only had the Japan representative at Pinya, and then the NA representative of Shadow 20Z. Eat that, EU Tekken. And in the bracket itself, we had Ni looking pretty dominant, able to beat Manja. Molgold was seemingly the one person who kind of kept it close, but it really looked dominant from Ni himself. But it was a very fun tournament to watch. I was honestly pretty shocked with how much I enjoyed watching Season 2 compared to previous years. Or not the previous years, but like, I guess, expectations. Pinya also got a fan out of me for his Raven. It was super fun to watch. Unfortunately, he had to beat Shadows, but, you know, it happens. And then in Strive, we had probably the most deflating grand finals I've ever seen. Unfortunately, the PS5, which was having a lot of problems over the weekend, overheated during the grand finals and apparently melted Red Ditto's controller. So, that being said, Daruino was dominant this weekend. He didn't drop a game in top 8, so he most likely would have won, and it's just a shame that that had to kind of like cloud the entire situation. Other than that, Summit 3-0 Polka, who then lost in both upper bracket and lower bracket. Tiger Pop had another good tournament. Tiara had a good showing before losing out to Red Ditto. Leffen and Sankan rounding out that top 8. And then in Grand Blue, we had Kusasagi get first over Zangief Dream, who had a pretty good losers bracket. And again, one of the situations where Zangief was beating everyone except for Kasasagi. Alroke had a good showing for pretty much any other. Had the best showing for a non-Japanese representative, so well played to them. It was a very, very Japan-dominated tournament for Grand Blue. And then in the side tournament, we did have a Fatal Fury EWC qualifier where that goes to Xiaohai and Fenridi. Nemo, Score, Kubo, ZJZ, Xian, and Kindevu round out the top 8. Want to mention Goichi and Diaphone almost getting in that top 8, and then same with VX Bao and RB in the lower bracket. It was pretty dominant from Xiaohai. Fenridi got a game in both, but Xiaohai kind of seems to be the best player in the world right now in Fatal Fury, and I'm not sure that's a insanely hot take or anything. So that was last weekend. We have a very big weekend coming up. We have Asian Champions League. It's been going on for a bunch of different tournaments, but is Street Fighter's turn, and is an 2 EWC spots are available, and it is a system where it is not just the 1-2 get it. It will filter down to the top performers that aren't in EWC. So there's a lot of people that can qualify. We have, and even not people that can qualify, it's just gonna be a great tournament having Lashar, Xiaohai, Punk, Mena, Tokido, Hikaru, DCQs, Itabashi, Zangief, Moke, Hot Dogs. Hot Dog and Chris Wong always kind of show up really well. Mago, Ryusei, Mizuha, like Rain Pro. It's gonna be a great tournament. I'm super excited. It's gonna be fun to watch tomorrow and Sunday. And then also tomorrow and Sunday, we're gonna have the Brussels Challenge Major, where we have 2 more EWC spots for Fatal Fury. We're gonna be talking about EWC a lot for the next coming weeks in fighting games. I'm gonna warn you now, as we have a lot of big names in KOF and Fatal Fury, and just a lot of fighting games in general. We have Punk, who is XYZZY, Fenriddy, top 2 in last tournament, ZJZ, Violent Kane, I believe he wasn't at Evo Japan, so I think he's like one of the best players, if not the best in the world KOF, so it'll be interesting to see him. Pujera, Marin, GamerB, Goichi, Tuyara, Score, Mad, Tamago. It's gonna be a very fun tournament. Super excited to see kind of Fatal Fury figure its scene out. That being said, it's not the only EWC. There's another EWC spot going for Street Fighter this weekend, and it is also a big tournament. It's not as stacked as the Asian Champions League, so you might get to see someone that wouldn't normally qualify in this scenario. But we have some still amazing players in Ending Walker, Bonchan, Kills You, Zangief, Bellado, Tachikawa, Goichi, Salty Kid, Takamura, Kusanagi, who Takamura also just got signed to RRQ. Problem X, mentioned Pujera earlier. Mr. Crimson's a very good player. So it'll be very interesting to watch this, and it'll be fun to see who gets qualified to EWC. And then again, we have Tekken, which is the only Tekken tournament, so it's not conflicting with anything else, but it's not very Asian dominated in terms of entrance. So we have a good chance of having an NA or EU representation, or MENA representation. Shadow Toy Z, Tekken Master, King Ray Jr., Joka, Nino, Sephi Black, Kane and Trench, Danny Mato, Tetsu, Ilias, I believe, just got signed. Like, it's Super Akuma. It's gonna be a really fun tournament. I'm really excited to see who makes it into EWC out of this set. And then there's also other tournaments, but that's not really the big focus. I also do want to mention there's been a lot of players getting signed. Like M got signed at NIP, a ton of players getting signed to Z10, All Gamers taking off Reynolds, Shadow X getting Falcons, this is Soul, I think, yeah, Soul getting Yukurov, Varel getting Mochi, Daigo and Fudo both going to Reject for Street Fighter League Japan, and then Shine getting signed to 100 Thieves. So a lot of big EWC transfers happening. And then in the next week, we'll get to talk about Combo Breaker, and it's just going to be non-stop in terms of amazing tournaments for fighting games for a good amount of time. That being said, we're going to move to Smash Brothers, where we have Kowloon finishing up, and the NA takeover actually worked this time. And Gluto. Onin took first, Sonics took second, Gluto took third, Tweak in his final Smash Ultimate tournament, maybe a Smash tournament ever, took fourth. Amazing career out of him. It's so fun to watch him. I got the pleasure of meeting him once at a tournament. It was super nice. Just well wishes to him. 5th, 6th, Spargo Yoshida, and then Light Mia round out 7th, 8th. It's a very good tournament. It's just kind of one of those. It was a Karagwe like leftover kind of people were there, so it's just super sick. Full House is going on this weekend. It's kind of this like poker-esque invite tournament, so it's just a fun thing. It's lots of money up there, so it's not like throwaway. So go watch it. It's just a fun time. And then head into Call of Duty. We're in the middle of their online qualifiers. I believe the page is not updated. is not. But I do have the results for today's matches. But going into last weekend, we had Miami beating Falcons, not surprising. Boston beating Texas, not too surprising. C9 beating FaZe is pretty surprising. Miami beating C9, Minnesota beating LAG, Thieves beating Falcons, Texas beating Carolina, Vancouver beating Boston, FaZe beating LAG, and then Toronto beating Minnesota. This weekend's matches have started. LAG beat Texas 3-2 in a big upset. Rocker beat Carolina 3-1, and then Thieves beat Breach 3-0. So I guess Texas hasn't been doing that well, so it's not a giant surprise that they lost, but it still is. It's in the realm of possibility. For the rest of the upcoming games, like maybe C9 can upset again. You never know. Heretics Carolina will be a good one. Toronto, Vancouver will probably be a good one. And then Minnesota, Vancouver will probably be a fun one at the end. Here's what the standings are looking for in Major 4. Heretics looking very, very strong like last time. FaZe dropping that map really hurt them. LAT's not coming out as strong. But we will see how that shuffles out for the rest of the weekend. And no Apex this weekend after the Invitational, so we're just gonna head over to Rainbow Six, and R6 is in their reload finals. I don't understand their format. I can go over what happened. I watched some of the games. I still don't really understand the format. Loud, CAG, Elevate, W7M, Falcons, Wildcard, FRX, and Furia all made it through. I don't understand why and how. It doesn't make sense to me. But in the quarterfinals, CAG took down FRX, Wildcard took down Elevate, W7M beat Falcons, and then Loud is currently beating Furia. Furia is beating Loud right now and is 3-3 on border as I speak. These will be finishing up at tomorrow and then Sunday, so go watch. It'll be some fun Rainbow Six. And then heading from Rainbow Six, we're going to go over to some Overwatch, as all of the leagues have started. Actually, I don't know if China started. I might have spoken too soon. We're just going to head down the list. And with NA, we had GK sign former NTMR. And I need to go to regular season. I forgot that it's formatted differently. And GK did take down Supernova. I thought they were supposed to NTMR this weekend. What? I'm so confused. Oh, was it the other? It was the other TBD they were supposed to play, Sakura. Okay, got it. TL did beat SSG, NTMR beat Sakura. Sternal beat Dill Ducks, very sad. GK beat Supernova and SSG beat NTMR. Or NTMR beat SSG. SSG not looking great. I'm going to be completely honest. And they really want to make it to EWC. Sakura is going to be playing Dill Ducks on the 17th tomorrow. External is going to be playing TL. Supernova is going to be playing NTMR. SSG playing Dill Ducks. And then GK versus Sakura. So no real no real bangers, to be honest. In at least EMEA. Or at least North America. In EMEA, I gotta click the regular season, man. I keep doing it. We had Ultimates beat Genji 3-0. QAD beat Twisted Minds. Pep beat FTE. QIE lose to FERT Pro, and QAD beat Ultimates. And then next week we're gonna have, or tomorrow, we're gonna have Peps versus TM, QAD versus FTE. A good game between Genji and VP. See if Genji can bounce back. QIE is gonna be playing Ultimates, and Genji is gonna be playing FTE. And is China started? China hasn't started. China's gonna be starting in a week, so I'll get back to that. Weibo got signed. That's all you need to know. Go to Japan. Japan has gone through their week 1, I believe, and we get to see We're gonna have Ravati losing to. Can I just zoom out a bit so I can have a cheat sheet? Yep. Ravati gets taken down by ZG. Varel beats Neon Gaming 3-0. Reject beats Arise. What is that? Please not Hero Band. Please not Hero Band loses to Reject. Inferno beats Neon Gaming. Rise beats ZG. Varel beats Hayabusa. Reject beats Ravetti. And then Jcot beats ZG. So no real surprises. The names you're really looking at are Reject and Varel, and the fact that they're at the start of the groups is really not surprising. The fact that Reject had to play 3 days is kind of crazy to me, and they're off next week is, again, kind of insane. But you know, they got they got 3-3-0s. I don't think they're really complaining. They really want to make that EWC, because whoever just wins this goes to Mid-Season Championships, which is the EWC. I want to make that very clear. And then Korea got only 2 spots for Korea this time. No, that's just normal, actually. Oh no, they got. Did they have 4? Yeah, they had 4. Oh no, they have 4 into the 8. Yeah, okay. I'm done. Ignore me. Week 1 we had CR beating OC and Val. Oh wait, I already talked about that. Way beat OCS or OSG. Crazy Raccoons beat VEC. Falcons beat Poker Face. Zeta beat OSG. Way 3-0 T1, which was real bad for D1 in my opinion. OCN beat Poker Face. All Gamers beat VEC 3-1. Zeta beat Falcons 3-1, which is a huge surprise. And then T1 beat Poker Face 3-1. Gonna have an interesting one of AGG versus OCN. CR should probably pump OSG, and then PF versus VEC will be interesting. Zeta versus OCN, probably similar situation. And I think T1 CR is gonna be a very, very important one to see kind of which T1 is real. Is that the one that pushed Falcons to a game 5, or is it the one that get pumped by? Because part of me also thinks that they just have like a blind spot for Way, and they just can't beat them. Here are your current standings. We'll just go to the overview actually. Here are your current standings, and then it goes into like a seeding decider, and then like an LCQ, and then like a regional playoffs, and it's all messy. But you really want to get into the top 4. That is kind of your big target. So for T1, it's like they really need to just win out at this point. Oh, is All Gamers Way? Oh, Way got signed by All Gamers. Okay, I was like, where did All Gamers come from? That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, they can't beat T1, just can't beat them. I'm hoping they turn it around, but I'm not too hopeful knowing T1. But yeah, lots of really good Overwatch. I'll be continuing to go on. Heading over to Valorant. Pretty much we just have to talk about EMEA because they are late. And this morning, I believe, Fnatic beat Team Heretics. Yesterday, Team Liquid beat BBL and qualified for Masters Toronto. So it's going to be Heretics, Fnatic, Liquid, and then I think today or tomorrow and Sunday, we are going to have the culmination for just seeding purposes, but we have all of our teams for Masters Toronto. And almost, I believe, EWC. If I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, because if Masters Toronto... Okay, yeah, but we have our Masters Toronto's teams. It's going to be a very fun tournament. I'm excited to see the new faces. And some old faces, see if G2 can actually win a tournament. Yeah. Then heading over to CS, we have the Asian Champion Leagues finishing up, and Tai Lu got the EWC spot. We love to see it. It hurt a little bit as a FlyQuest fan because I do like FlyQuest, but I do love the Tyloo players. They're very, very funny. So happy to see some Chinese representation in CS. Then we have PGL Estranza. Probably saying that wrong. In Swiss, Mongols, Spirit, Furia, Navi, Astralis, MMBR, NIP, and Aurora get out. Big names, Vert Pro and G2 didn't get out. Gamer Legions just did not have a good tournament. Same with Pain. In the playoffs, we had Aurora beating Mongols. Really, just Mongols they're so good in Swiss, and then they just kind of fall apart in the playoffs. It's sad. Astralis beat Navi, Furia beat MIBR, and Spirit beat NIP. So these games will be happening tomorrow, and then again Sunday will be the the finale. And then we'll talk about this next week, but I Am Dallas actually, oh wait, no, I Am Dallas is gonna be starting soon. I'm gonna talk about it. This is going to be the last time that this G2 roster will be playing, so don't expect much out of them, but they will be taking Sun Pius and Saw from Heroic, that's what's rumored. But in Group A, we have Vitality, Legacy, 3D Max, Gamer Legion, Mongols, Furia, Lin Vision, and G2. So I'd imagine Mongols get all the way here, and then same with Vitality is going to qualify. That's not even a question. And then in Group B, we have Mouse versus BC Game, Team Liquid versus FaZe, which would be a very interesting one. Aurora versus Heroic, and then NRG versus Falcons. That'll be going throughout the entire weekend, and I will update you as the games go on, because we'll be doing a rundown during this, I believe. So that is it for CS. We'll head over to Dota, where we had the Blast Slam, I believe, is the one that just finished up. Where is pretty much just the finals I need to talk about. Yep, and that makes sense. So Falcons beat Spirit to make it to the grand finals, but Tundra just too good, and Tundra takes it 3-1. Tundra is a very, very solid team. Have a lot of EWC qualifiers coming up, which would be very interesting to see. And then nothing too major, just qualifiers going on right now, so that's gonna be it for Dota. I'm not gonna. Oh wait, it's Decision Champion League at EWC. Oh, okay, it does. Extreme Gaming did win the EWC. They almost. Tidebound almost took them down. It must have been a very good game. But so we have them at EWC. I think that was is that the first team that's qualified for EWC? Let me look. I haven't. Oh, okay, it's leaderboards and then qualifiers. Got it. So yeah, we will look at those qualifiers because I think it's big enough. But like these little fissure ones and stuff, I'm not gonna bother with. Heading over to League of Legends, we have everything kind of going as normal. We have LCK mid-swing. We had kind of a normal weekend, honestly, here. T1, DK just doesn't look good. DNF finally got their first win against Nongshim. Very happy they didn't go completely loss or winless. Made me happy. Then we had Nongshim beating VRX, which isn't too surprising, but Diablo played nuts as normal. DK beating DRX. KT beating HLE, which you should go watch Game 3 of that series. It's absolutely bonkers. And then T1 actually escaping Bro for once, so good for T1. DK did recover against VRX, and then Genji beat DNF. This is a big one to look for if you're a KT fan, because KT and Bro do not go well, just like T1 and Bro. And then Genji T1 on Sunday is going to be a giga banger. Then to start the next week, we have another giga banger with Genji versus HLE. We will have T1 VRX, which I think is a better game than a lot of people think, and then a really important game for playoff qualifiers for KT and then Nongshim. Going to the LPL, we have just more games. in the Rumble stage. We're getting closer to the end of it. I have only a few more games to go. Just going down looking at some big results. IG beating JDG was a pretty big one. JDG then beating Weibo was also big. AL beating NIP is not too surprising, and IG beating NIP is not too surprising either. Got just real good LPL games. I'll talk about standings just because I think there's so much, but so looking at the standings, RNG and OMG are just relegated. They're done for the year. Bye bye. Hope you had fun. And then in the upper bracket group, we have IG really fighting to try and get in that top 4, but it looks like the rest will be that they will be in the top of the bottom players, because I don't think they play. They do have 2 more matches. They have a chance, because JDG hasn't looked great. So you need JDG or BLG to really falter. And what? Ooh, so JDG does play BLG, so that helps them. And then they also play BLG, so you know, IG might have a chance. You never know. But JDG does play BLG and AL, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see who can finally get that last spot. Then we go to the knockout stage, where it's all this. I don't know. It's we're just not gonna LPL. This league and their bullshit ass formats, man. Going to a simple one. We have the LEC playoffs starting this weekend, starting tomorrow, I believe. Actually, we have Carmen versus Koi. Oh wait, no, it's starting in 2 weeks. Never mind. I'm not even gonna talk about this. Whoops. Okay. I didn't think there'd be a break. Whoops. And then LCP is continuing. We had just had a few games happen. Had GAM beat Chiefs, Talon beat SHG, CFO beat DFM, and then Secret beat Vikings. Talon then turned around and beat DFM 2-0, and then Vikings beat GAM. Tomorrow we'll have SHG versus Team Secret, Chiefs versus CFO, DFM versus Vikings, and Talon versus GAM. I did learn there's a little bit more. There is actually relegation in this. It's kind of confusing, but it's most likely going to be DFM and Chiefs playing in the relegation tournament. And then LTA North. Who knows what's going on in this? We have this. We have a first place seeding match between C9 and FlyQuest. Then a third place seeding match between Team Liquid and Shopify, and then an elimination match between Lion and Dignitas, and then 100 Thieves and Disguise. Group stage, I believe 100 Thieves sold against SR and lost 2-1, and that's why that situation is even happening. So that'll be tomorrow. And then LTA South, almost the exact same thing, where we have Fury and Pain going for first seed, Vivo, Keaton, and Loud going for third place, Isurus and Fluxo for elimination match, which is kind of crazy because Isurus was one of the top seeds already, and then Red Canids and Leviathan, or last split. And then Red Canids and Leviathan are also in that elimination. Top seed, oh, that's not what I meant to do. Top seed will go to EWC and MSI, so it's a very, very important one for these LTA teams. And then moving on from League, I believe we just have Rocket League. I always feel like I'm missing something at the end, but I think we just have Rocket League. So, going through Open 5 for NA, pretty standard. Other than the mess at the top, but the boys get 4-0'd by SSG, NRG 4-0'd Evo, NRG then 4-0'd the boys. The boys did beat Genji, so I gotta give them some props, and Genji did beat Ultimates. And it is having this weird qualification scenario in Open 6. And then, but NRG is just running this region. For the major, I do want to mention this now. It's kind of spoilers. We have this weird thing for the Raleigh Major where... Okay, there we go. We have this so 14 tie for the last spot. And Genji's not even technically safe. They could just lay an egg. But it seemingly is between Complexity and Ultimates, but the boys actually, I think, are a lot better of a team than people imagined. So that'll be a very interesting thing to watch in Open 6. Let's just go back to qualifiers. Go to EU. That is started already, I assume. And we have our upper bracket. And let's just go through the groups. BS or Forward beat Ult Dignitas and then lost to BSK, who got in the upper bracket, and then Carmine Corp beat NIP, who then had to play Dignitas, and NIP are eliminated and almost probably eliminated from major contention, if that is the case. And then Vitality beat Caliente. GK lost to Gentlemates, but did get through in the bottom, and so did Caliente. We have tomorrow the French Civil War between Carmine Corp and Gentlemates, and then Vitality versus Team BSK. Who's on BSK? I don't even know. That is Prestige, Mozzarella, and Pisky. I have no idea who those guys are. Good for them. Dig is going to be playing Caliente, and then GK is going to be playing Forward. That'll be culminating this weekend. And OCE. Is this, we already had, yep, Open 5. Is it a shocker? Did Wildcard not win? No, of course, Wildcard won. Power made it close. Power did make it close. It looks like Power is going to be that second team. Never know. But they did get the win over TSM, and TSM also beat Chiefs. So I need to see how they did in the last one, but that is spot's probably open, but Wildcard is almost for sure set for the major and also Worlds. Let's just go down the list. South America. We have our bracket. The normal players, but Furia and Secret are playing in the upper bracket quarterfinals, unfortunately, already. Corinthians and Godfidence playing in the other side. Moonrise, TBS, Amethyst, and Sunset in the lower brackets. Furia not doing the greatest. Dropping a game to Amethyst, crazily enough. For MENA, we had Falcons running it. TM losing to Rock Esports, which was interesting, but pretty much it. And then we'll go to APAC, where Vert Pro is now running it, because Vert Pro sold LG sold their team to Vert Pro. So I love APAC sometimes. Yeah, so Kinotrope got through. Same with Movistar Koi. Vert Pro, again, same thing. And then Verstappen is going to be playing Kinotrope. So this will probably be the best chance for Kinotrope to place highly, I think, in this format. I'm a fan. I'm a Realize fan, but I think Vert Pro is just going to continue to run it. And it's still kind of crazy that LG even sold. But going to look at the major qualification stuff. Where is it? Rankings. Major. Yeah, so Wildcard already qualified. It is a lot closer for Chiefs and TSM than I realized. So it is pretty open for that second spot. Yeah, this should be pretty set for Furia and Secret, I would imagine. But you never really know. Furia has been on the low seemingly, so could see some big upsets there. TM is already qualified, and Team Falcons have already qualified, and TM is in the running, so nothing too surprising for them. APAC, Vert Pro should qualify after this weekend. And then EU is a mess. But we'll know a little bit more because NIP is probably out. So It most likely would be between these 4 teams up here, and really just between these 3 fighting out for the bottom 2 spots. So, thank you all for watching. I'm sorry this is late. I've tried to record this a lot. If you can't tell, I'm sick, so it's been a bit. So, hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this.